Hey, this is Kyle Byron, the Toronto nutritionist, and this video is about protein powder. So what is protein powder? Well, it kind of looks like this. It's usually white, it's powdery, and if it's a whey protein, which all these are, it comes from milk. Now, if you have a product that you think is bothering your stomach, obviously stop taking it. Get something with less ingredients, just like with one ingredient, like the stuff I like. Whey protein isolate, that's it. It's good for you. Alright, so what's the deal with emulsifiers? Well, they help mix fat and water together. Like if you're making a cake, there's fat and there's water in there and you don't want those things separate. So egg yolks are an emulsifier, but you can't just have egg yolks in foods that are on the counter, on the shelf. So companies started isolating the emulsifiers like lecithin and then adding that as an ingredient, and then it can go in a box on the shelf. So do we want that in our protein powder? No, not really. We just want protein powder. So the one I like best, the ingredients, whey protein. That's it. There's also some growing evidence that emulsifiers are maybe disrupting our healthy gut bacteria. If you're worried about that, obviously, every day you should be having some sauerkraut on an empty stomach, or kefir, or kombucha tea, and just taking care of our guts. I mean, that's just something that's really important anyways. As you can see, I've placed all three of our samples. Look how powdery and fine this protein powder is. This is the one that has no additives or anything. Both of these have additives in them. This one has the most. They're both kind of clumpy looking and a little bit more yellow. This next test, I'm going to sift each of the protein powders, and for scientific accuracy, I'm going to use half a tablespoon each time. I'm not going to compact it, I'm just going to scrape it off there. It's kind of taking a while. Look at that. It's like it's hardly sifting at all. Sifting, shaking the can. I wonder if I sifted out part of the ingredients, or if it's just that it's clumping up or what. But look, I can't even get the rest of this out of there. All right, I give up. Okay, let's do the sift test with the second sample. I'm going to do the exact same method. We're following the scientific method, which means we're only changing one thing at a time, and that thing that we're changing is the sample. But everything else in this test is remaining exactly the same. I used compressed air, by the way, to clean out the sifter. This one's not sifting very easily either. It's definitely sifting more slowly. So this is just a clumpier protein powder. Whether that means anything, we'll talk about that in a minute. Taking forever to sift the protein. Like, I can't even get this out of here. It's just sticking there. Okay, I'm rating this clumpier out of those two samples. Okay, it's time to test the third sample. This is the protein powder that has no other ingredients other than whey protein isolate. And again, I used compressed air to clean out the sifter, using the same measurement and the same method. That is definitely sifting out faster. It's about 5 or 10 times faster. I'm still getting a bit that gets stuck in there that won't come out. And again, just looking at it here, like that is like a fine dust. Those look like more like little pellets or sand. So I'm voting this one least clumpy. Does that mean anything for absorption? Does that mean anything for gas or flatulence? Bloating? I don't know. Common sense says, yeah, that's significant. Okay, the next test is the shaking test. So I've got each protein sample here, the same amount, obviously, in the exact same shaker cup, and we're going to pour some water in. We're going to use an equal amount of water each time, and I'm going to give it 8 shakes. And then I'm going to dump it into this glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one turned out pretty well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just checking to see for residue. They all did pretty well. I'm impressed. You can see the coloration there. That one on the left is the one without additives. All right, taste test time. So this is the whey protein with no other ingredients. Tastes just like bland. It's not offensive or anything. It just tastes bland. Wouldn't say it tastes like milk or anything. Now this one has 2 ingredients, the whey protein isolate and a soy lecithin. Almost exactly the same, not offensive. Now this one has a vanilla flavoring. It's also, like I said, a whey protein isolate. It actually has a few different kinds of flavorings, probiotics, and some xanthan gum. So I'm expecting this to taste really sweet, obviously. Ugh, bingo. That tastes like white chocolate. Like, now, I used to drink that stuff. I evolved. My taste buds are more sensitive now, and I went to the plain stuff. But maybe starting out, you go with that sweet stuff. But no thanks, not anymore. The last test was consuming these products. Now, one of the protein powders, in fact, the one that's very fine, and it was the white one, I consume that on a daily basis, so I didn't feel I needed to test that. But I tested the other 2 products, especially the one with the vanilla taste. I had about 2 scoops of that, and then with a few hours, I was producing a lot of foul-smelling gas. Now, all that means is some of the nutrients or chemicals from that product were undigested, unabsorbed, and made their way to my large intestine where the bacteria live. They consume it, and then they produce the gas. So is it a low-quality whey protein, or did I have some sort of reaction to the emulsifiers? I don't know, and I'll probably never know. But all I know is that the protein that I sell at the clinic, that's the white, really fine one, the one that doesn't produce any symptoms. And I selected that protein because I think it's the best. And anecdotally speaking, it's producing the least amount of negative symptoms in the people that use it. And so I just tried to do this little experiment and explain some emulsifiers. And you know, the bottom line is protein powder is a good thing. And if there's one that doesn't work for you, just try a different one. I have another video about protein powder. You can go back and watch that, and it talks about you know, the nutrition around it and how it's made. So thank you again for watching, and subscribe to this channel if you like videos like this. You can also find me on Instagram and social media. Thank you very much.